Good morning. Let me first thank Mr. Yuva and Sendil for creating a wonderful team. It's brilliant to have an entrepreneurial forum that's going to drive entrepreneurs. Basically, most of them are off to work, and transforming them into an entrepreneur is a big journey. I think this will be a wonderful organization to build. I have been watching them from the beginning. It has been doing very well. Let me also appreciate Mr. Saravanan, Vasan, and other interesting people who have joined here to build this function so successful. I've been watching yesterday. Every event has been done with a lot of precision and care and commitment, and it's been wonderful. Let me thank one and all for inviting me to join this function. Thank you. Well, I asked Mr. Vasan and others, what do I speak? They said, you speak about how your steps that you have been gone through various times. In fact, when I joined my undergrad, that is the time I happened to see a computer arrived in our institution at IIT Bombay. That's called Erlag 1030, which is a Russian computer. And when my professor at Sen has told me, why don't you just unpack the machine along with a Russian scientist and make the system running. So we all entered into the room. We saw a very huge blocks of servers, which is all, we had a good manual, but it's again written in Russian. But now you can have a Google to translate, Llama to translate. We don't have anything at the time. So we have been having a dictionary, which is also given to us. Every word we have translated and tried to understand, and we were able to see all the connectivity ourselves, and we set up the computer. That was my first experience in '82. That is the time I saw what this computer is all about. But later I come to know this Erlag is nothing but IBM 360. It is a clone of IBM 360. It's a fantastic machine. We learned computation so well those times. So this was my first experience into a computer room. After that, we had Z80. It's a processor, Z80 processor. They created a computing machine that was given to us. And even my professor, everybody was breaking their head what to do with Control Z, because we don't know whether to press Control first and Z second or do it simultaneously. We have argued and we managed to put it. But those are days, you all aware, we have been using card readers. We have to write our programs and we have to go to a punch operator and she will enter the data and then it will get logged onto the computer and then we have to use it. Those days memories are 14K. It cannot exceed even 100K, 120K. It's all very limited memory. So we have to be extraordinarily cautious to run our program. That's the way we started. Then, I started to see the revolution of computing. The first revolution was the small, PCs, which was introduced by IBM. And of course, you all know about it. It is in 1990s. In fact, it started in 80s, mid-80s, but 1990s, it starts stabilizing. Then we have wide area network, and all that we have started to see. And that is the time, in 1990s, the internet also came into existence. That is the time slowly the Amazon, eBay, all of them, that is the impact was a small business company could create impact to the world. That impetus happened during this time. 1990, we saw a lot of companies emerging. Amazon was emerging, eBay was emerging. So many other companies started to emerge. So that gave a huge opportunity. After that, in 2000, we have the mobile revolution. Until such time, the business is always not at your convenience. It is the convenience that the stores are open or the convenience that you will be able to operate. Now, after the mobile and e-commerce, we were able to place orders on the mobile so comfortably, and this started to create huge impact, and social networks like Facebook, all of them, Twitter started to come in, and WhatsApp started coming in. So it's all good to see. The first time when I logged into all this, it was so interesting. We started to put our minds and try to run our things. And the impact, the small business group become more agile and interactive and become consumer friendly. This impact we started to understand. Then 2010, that's the time cloud computing came in. The big data era, that's where your whole data analytics, people started to feel. Data analytics was not at all possible until such time, because we have small servers which have gathered some data, we are trying to work. Now the big data started to open up because of the cloud systems. So when we talk about cloud, there is an IaaS and then PaaS, then the SaaS. So first one is infrastructure as a service, which was created by Amazon, Azure, and all of them started to come in. We don't know how they are going to survive, but they all survived well after that. So similarly, you have got this SaaS model in the past, which is nothing but platform. The platform started to open up. You have this Google engine came in, and then the SaaS, which you all know, Microsoft and Google and all of them came in SaaS platform as well. So these impacted a huge efficiency and scale in terms of computing power. So everyone started to interact and start the best out of the computers. And this is all the growing up era. Then opens up 2020, the artificial intelligence. But here I got to make a point. Artificial intelligence is no longer a new technology at all. You all should not think, because it started in Alan Turing. Alan Turing started to write. I mean, I went to see his scribes, and I scribbled so much about artificial intelligence in his memorable. I happened to read it. It was one of those greatest minds I have ever seen. And then McCarthy of the Dartmouth College, he brought the name artificial intelligence into the system. So this is the great beginning. And Professor Samuel created an IBM machine with the power of computing. He is able to create a checker game, and he challenged the whole America. And finally, one champion from Connecticut came up to play with the AI-based machine, and he failed miserably, and the AI machine won. That was the first success of artificial intelligence, which was 1953. But you know what happened? 1953, this impact happened, but we all to feel that impact is 2020 is largely because of the computing power. Even I faced the same problem. I did my PhD in '89, and I wrote a paper which was 80 pages mathematical document, but I wasn't able to execute in any computer. I got to wait 19 long years to execute my program and tell the world that what I did, what I thought was right. So to prove my own mathematics, I have to wait for 19 years. So all because of the computing power. So what I understand, see this Murphy's law, you see always the computer gets doubled every 1.5 years. But with all that rapid stepping up of computing power also, we are not able to meet what is required for artificial intelligence. As you know, this is a giant which takes so much of data, because it is artificial, it's not natural. So you need to have so much of data to create your decisions and things like that. Yesterday, my friend Tom and Mr. Ganesh has given a beautiful word about AI. You should not think ChatGPT or your Google Gemini as artificial intelligence. That's what it is. So these are all tools that you may have to use it, but you have to build your own AI. So this is where the machine language, then your deep learning, then comes your LLMs, large language models, and so on, which is all after this basic data analytics. So if you try to do your data analytics and try to build your thought process properly, then what happens, the whole machine learning is complete. Then you move on to your intellect. That is where the AI comes in. So what is human intellect? That once you able to build your human intellect into a model, and that is what we call it AI. So for an AI, you have huge bunch of data analysis and the kind of steps that you have to think over it, and you have to decide what exactly is going to choose for the particular process. Then finally you will be able to build the large language model. It's just a lot of steps to follow. But here is a problem. Obviously, when you are trying to run a machine which is trying to take over a human intellect, human, as you all know, we have got 3 trillion neurons, which is, billion neurons, which function so efficiently, and your neuro patch is so efficient, and your brain, only problem with our brain, because we get strained and we become slow down. Machine doesn't slow down, and it doesn't fail at all. Human beings have got this one particular problem. So this is where we are trying to meet the AI as something which is beyond. So when we look at the confluence of artificial intelligence and the quantum computing, that is going to be the era of your modern computing platforms. Now coming to quantum computing, which I have been on for the last 3-4 years, and what I personally feel, the quantum computing, the stability, the decoherence or the coherence is the key matter in quantum computing. See, what is quantum computing? In 1900, suddenly Max Planck woke up and said, until that time, Newtonian thought was light is a particle. That's all Newton said. Then he quietly and politely said, it is not just a particle, it's a packet of energy, which is something like a wave. That's what he said. Then Schrodinger come up with a cat problem, which you must be all know, that cat experiment, and he proved it is a wave. It has got two state, multiple state. At the same time, it is live, and same time it is dead. So they are able to catch both in the cat experiment with a nuclear detection. So they were able to prove that there is a two-state. That is where the whole beginning of quantum started to explode. Then Heisenberg has proved how exactly you can manage the quantum entanglement, okay, and the superposition. These two are mostly very important to quantum. So these two were explained basic physics, and from that they created the computational mathematics. See, when you talk about quantum always works on gates. You have to define all your steps into gates. That's where you have got Qiskit. You have got a product called Qiskit, which is what they use in, actually it starts with Q, but it has to be pronounced as Qiskit. It looks like Qiskit, but it has to be pronounced as Qiskit. So this particular application is what largely used. This is actually managed with Python. Python also is part of this, and this drives the computational models for whatever you are trying to do with a quantum as a service. So now what happens is, quantum, the speed, which is what I got amazed. In 2017, I was invited to see the Sycamore, which was exhibited at Bay Area by Google. They brought this machine. We were all sitting. You know about the loop problem that goes through multiple loops. So this normally, when you give this complex mathematical problem on your digital computer, it takes 10,000 years. It takes 10,000 years. So they were not able to solve this problem at all. They gave this problem. First they explained this problem. We agreed. Mathematicians also were there. We all agreed. Then the platform, it was run. Incidentally, it was able to run within 200 seconds. So you can understand the speed of your quantum computer over your digital computer. The speed of the digital hypercomputer model, which takes about 10,000 years, a quantum computer was able to solve in 200 seconds. Then the whole world started to think We must jump into the quantum computing. What happens? All the server engines which are used in all Amazons and everybody started to move into quantum computing. When you look at the quantum computer is so small, okay? The tubes that runs across the quantum computer is just a coolant, because they got to maintain it at absolute zero. That's absolute Kelvin. Unless, why it has been run on absolute Kelvin? Otherwise, what happens? This is an atomic computing. You are not doing a digital, it becomes an atomic computing. When you come into atomic computing, the jumping, the decoherence can happen even with a small magnetic effect or any kind of structural issue, even an electrical issue. It will start jumping. So to control that, you have to put it on an absolute zero. But there is one natural quantum computing which is happening, which is what the photosynthesis, where it happens in a normal temperature. So always nature is superior than the human being. We are trying to do it. So this is something very interesting. And this quantum computing, let's say one small problem, which was always taken up very seriously by the environmentalist. See, in the ocean, you have got huge plastic deposit. We are start throwing so much. And these plastics which are floating in the ocean, it's creating a huge problem for the animals. They consume the plastics and it becomes, it starts dying. So there is a huge problem of how to remove it. This quantum, you have basically quantum computing will be very good for creating enzymes and peptides. Peptides and enzymes, you have a lot of mathematical, derivatives to create new peptides and enzymes. They are created a pathogen. They created a pathogen with these enhanced enzymes and peptides, which will be able to eat this plastic and survive, and it get decayed. The first two steps they achieved. Third step they couldn't. They are trying to work on it. Once they do it, your entire ocean will be, rest assured, there is no problem. So now here is a point which I wanted to make among all those entrepreneurs who are attending this function. You have to start moving into AI and quantum computing, quantum as a service. You must start involving, which is going to be a great area. There are only two algorithms in quantum. One is the Shor algorithm, another is the Grover's algorithm. You leave Grover, which is not going to be important. Shor algorithm, Qiskit, and little Python, you will be able to enter in doing the gates design. But mathematics is very important. Okay? Then coming to one application of quantum is your health, which is what my friend also talked about yesterday. See, mainly for your gene sequencing, which is found by Gerald in Harvard University. He's a physicist. He's not a biotechnologist or a medical doctor. He's a physicist who created the genomic sequence. Then Collins did the connectivity between the genomics, your nerve, blood, tissues, and everything. He made a relationship model. And third one, which is the gene sequencing and how you connect the gene sequencing to correct the gene so that any particular problem, for example, a diabetic or a breast cancer, let's say the BRCA1, BRCA2, or the Alzheimer's, which is APOE4, all these genes, which has got a huge sequencing, if you are able to correct it, you will have a person without this problem. So this particular thing, you need a computer which need to do several billions of data. Each data will be running to several gigabytes. You can imagine the huge amount of data that one had to really run through to find out solution for that. This is where quantum is going to be useful. I think quantum stability also slowly they are achieving. Slowly they are moving to a stability. And once you have this quantum and artificial intelligence, I think we can build a lot of innovative solutions. I think largely we are more service oriented. We must start moving into innovations. In my little life, I am able to do about 41 patents in the over the last so many years. First patent when I did it was 24 years, and then I got passionate about patents. I'm still applying my patents, and I'm trying to encourage most of my friends. So I request, my humble request to all of you, please get on to the interest of innovation. Please, these things are not complicated at all. Whatever I am talking about, it's not a very complicated subject at all. But we still think it's complex. But nothing is complex. When I was able to do 36 years ago, jumped into AI, I felt it was comfortable. After all, with mathematics, we are able to do it. Now you have got hypercomputings, brilliant networks, you can build it. So my request to all of you, I have few things to tell you. We got to be more proactive than reactive. We are more reactive. Entrepreneurs, I would see, everybody is reactive. Somebody starts something or everybody jumps into that. It's not correct. You have to be more proactive. Think very clearly and make your decision. Adaptability is non-negotiable. You don't think, oh, why do I adapt? No question at all. You got to adapt. When the quantum comes, you got to adapt. When now new technology comes, we have to adapt. Unless adaptability is mark of your life, you will not be able to succeed. Then the culture, it's all culture over technology. You got to really understand how effectively you use your technology. That technology is imbibed with your culture, so that you will be able to build a good business model. Finally, security, governance, and foundational. You create companies with good security, build compliances, and of course with good foundation. With this, raising your business beyond borders would be possible. I think now, in fact, for some of our products, developments, I have given to a person in Romania. He's doing a beautiful job. Computational work, I got few guys to work from Romania. So like this, I'm spreading work. I wish everyone should see beyond boundaries, connect with the globe. You will be able to find a lot of easy solutions. In fact, what I pay locally, I only pay 50% of it, I'm able to get it, and their involvement and dedication is far superior. It's not that I'm just saying, but you can think of a lot of other connectivity which can improvise your thing. Then, during this quantum and AI, there is another great domain, which is the Industry 4.0 and 5.0. This is where I specialized. I built a center in India. Industry 4.0 and 5.0 is really sweeping the whole world. Now the industrialization has happened. You have a larger project to work in Industry 4.2 and 5.2, because this is an area which is going in great impact. RPA, robotic process automation. You know, America is looking close to 54% of conversion into their automation in the next 5 years. So you can imagine a huge bunch of projects which are there in this area. And I've been exploring in this, and there is a huge opportunity for upskilling and skilling workforces, and this is opening up. Now, if you see the difference between 4.0 and 5.0, 4.0 is a host of your industry, right from your design, your 3D printing, and your robotics and automation, and your artificial intelligence, big data, all that put together, and your plant product lifecycle management, application lifecycle management, and host of things put together is Industry 4.0. And 5.0 is personalization and sustainability. So now, whatever project you are trying to do, you have to keep sustainability in your mind, and you will be able to do it so successfully. So my humble request to all of you, adapt technology and try to look for new areas to migrate rather than getting into placement or getting into small product development. Go think something larger. Each and every one in your business, you must create a small startup entity and try to innovate new business opportunity. Okay? This is my little journey I have gone through all these years. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Arumugam sir. Thank you so much for an informative and engaging session. So I'd like to invite Yuva, Sendil, the founders of teams, Vasan, Kanapati sir, Sendil Karunanidhi, please, on stage to give an award to Dr. Arumugam Murukiah. And I would also like to bring in Vas Insurance Vignesh, and Snehan on stage, please. And as we are bringing people in, if there are any questions from the audience, please engage his time here. That'll be a good opportunity. I'm looking directly at Mr. Ganesh Radhakrishnan, sir. Please, come on stage, sir, please.
ஆறுமுகம் சார் ஆறுமுகம் சார் பேசும்போது எல்லாம் கவனிச்சிருப்பீங்க, பயங்கர டெக்னிக்கலாக போயிட்டாரு. ஆனால் கொஞ்சம் சாரை பற்றி நிறைய சொல்லணும். ஆக்சுவலாக அதுக்கு சார் இதுனா ஐஐடி ப்ராடக்ட். அந்த காலத்திலேயே நம்ம ஃப்ளாப்பி டிஸ்க்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி உள்ள வெர்ஷன்ஸ்லேருந்தே கம்ப்யூட்டர் யூஸ் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்காரு. எனக்கெல்லாம் மைண்டில் ஒரு தாட் ப்ராசஸ் இருந்தது, கொஞ்ச நாள் ஐடியில் ஒர்க் பண்ணிவிட்டு ரிட்டையர் ஆகணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. இவர் அப்போ தான் அதாவது இப்போ புதுசாக குவாண்டம் படித்து அதில் புதுசாக லேப் செட்டப் பண்ணுறது அதெல்லாம் என்கேஜ் பண்ணும்போது சாரை பார்க்கும்போது மை மைண்ட் செட் டோட்டலி சேஞ்ச். நம்ம எவ்வளோ ஒரு இப்போ சார் கூட வாக் பண்ணிங்கன்னா அவர் உங்களோட வேகமாக போயிடுவார். யூ ஹேவ் டு ரன். அந்தளவுக்கு ஒரு எனர்ஜெட்டிக் பர்சன். ஒரு 40 இயர்ஸில் சார் நான் ஓட்டலை சார் 42 yearsல he was having a private jet in a top World Bank, as a very big position, the very big position. 42 yearsல he was able to achieve that. அதெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டு இந்தியா போயிட்டு அங்கே ஒரு செட் பண்ணி தமிழ்நாடு கவர்மெண்ட், அப்புறம் சென்ட்ரல் கவர்மெண்ட், குஜராத் கவர்மெண்ட் எல்லாத்துலேயும் ஒரு கீ பொசிஷனில் இருக்கார் சார். நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியாது. ஸோ சாரை பற்றி அதை பேசிக்கிட்டே இருக்கலாம். Multiple PhDs, I think from MIT?
No, I'm from
Toronto University, okay. So we are very lucky to have his support for our teams. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
டாக்டர் ஆறுமுகம் சாரை பற்றி சொல்லணுன்னா நிறைய சொல்லிகிட்டே இருக்கலாம். லாஸ்ட் ஈவினிங் when we met him, he came with his family and his only one son, and he was mentioning about NRI contribution. இங்கே இருக்கிற நம்ம NRI எல்லாமே யூஎஸ் வந்த உடனே நம்ம மறந்துடுறோம் எங்கேருந்து வந்திருக்கோம் அப்படிங்கிறது. We should not forget where we came from, how we grown and how our government and parents supported us to reach to this level. நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் பண்ணோன்னா we are going back to Tamil Nadu in our case, and we are asking contribution donation from Tamil Nadu government. ஸோ அங்கே இருக்கிறவங்க பணம் இல்லாமல் தான் நம்மலாம் இங்கே வந்திருக்கோம். ஸோ we have to contribute. அண்ட் அது சொல்லும்போது டாக்டர் அவரே he constructed 7 ladies hotels. இது So he done lot of charitable work, and he did not want to promote, but he was requesting all the NRIs to contribute for our technology back in India, to have more innovation to come in and more automation to help our government and our community. அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் டாக்டர் ஆறுமுகம் சார்கிட்ட நான் கேட்டிருந்தேன். ஏன்னா இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு வந்து வி ஆர் நாட் ஹேவிங் தட் அவேர்னஸ். என்ன பண்ணுங்கிறது யாருக்கும் தெரியல. ஸோ அதை பற்றி கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 2 minutes ஐ ரெக்வெஸ்ட் டாக்டர் ஆறுமுகம் சார் டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் டு அஸ்.
வணக்கம். அதாவது வென் வி மேக் சம் மணி, நாங்கள்லாம் வந்து 85ல் அமெரிக்கா வந்த ஒரு 2 yearsலேயே வி ஆல் கான்ட்ரிபியூட்டட் பேக் ஃபார் அவர் ஐஐடி. வி கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டட் a good lab and we gave some servers and of course refurbished digital machine கூட நான் கொடுத்தேன். ஸோ எதுக்காகன்னா we have to start building back our home. எல்லாரும் என்னென்னா we just come back and just we forget about it. இப்போ தமிழ்நாட்டிலே வந்து இப்போ மிஸ்டர் கணேஷ் அவர் வந்தார், அட்வைசராக வந்தார். ஹீ கான்ட்ரிபியூட்டட் அ லாட் அண்ட் ஸ்டில் இப்போ வந்தாலும் அவர் கேட்பார் என்ன பண்ணலாம், ஏதாவது புதுசாக டெக்னாலஜி டெவலப் பண்ணுங்கள். இப்போ குவாண்டம் மிஷனுக்கு கூட ஐ எம் கோயிங் டு இன்வைட் ஹிம். ஸோ ஐ லைக் திஸ், ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ ஷுட் கம் and involve back our home and try to see how we can develop our kids. See, this is something which is most important. You will find some of the most brightest kids who have very little resource and they are struggling. So 1 or 2 people will not be able to support all of them. So you, in the teams itself, you can create a special initiative to give back to Tamil Nadu. I think if you do it, I will also contribute for that. And you should make it as a big mission. Let's give back what we can do for our state. அது ஒரு ஏன்னா நான் இப்போ பார்க்குறதெல்லாம் என்னென்னா இங்கேருந்து வரவங்க வந்து வெதர் தமிழ்நாடு கவர்மெண்ட் சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுமான்னு கேட்பாங்க. அது எனக்கு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்கும். ஏன்னா அங்கேயே வந்து இந்த புவர்மெண்ட்டை டேக்ஸை வாங்கி ஒரு ஸ்டேட் ரன் ஆகிட்டு இருக்கிற ஸ்டேட்டில் ஸ்டில் சம் பாவர்ட்டி இஸ் எக்ஸிஸ்டிங் அண்ட் all of them. சப்போர்ட் கேட்குறதோடய நம்ம பண்ணால் என்ன அப்படின்னு கொஞ்சம் திங்க் பண்ணுங்கள். ஐ திங்க் தட் வில் ஹாவ் லாட் ஆஃப் இம்பேக்ட் ஃபார் அவர் ஸ்டேட். யா, தேங்க்யூ.
Thank you. Actually, I'm very honored here to stand with my mentors because Dr. Arumugam sir is also my mentor, and it is a great privilege that I could able to work along with him in the Tamil Nadu government, being an advisory to the industries department, and we do jointly quite a lot of work. Power and water, everything the government can provide, and there are certain grants. When you invest in Tamil Nadu, you get 10% back. Say, for example, you are investing 1 crore means you get 10 lakhs back, which you don't need to even pay it back. These are the kind of things, there are quite a lot of things are available. So, you should, when people go to Tamil Nadu, you should go and visit Arumugam sir lab. The one he has created a state-of-the-art lab, what he is running for this. Yeah, this is Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0, what he was mentioning. I only have one question for sir on the quantum side. So, because they brought me here to ask you a question. See, as he was mentioning, quantum gets a lot of error. And of course, Google has sorted out with the quantum error correction. And now, Microsoft has come out with a new processor, which is a topo conductor. And you know, it is a indium arsenide with aluminum, where predominantly it is going to suppress a lot of quantum error. What is your thoughts on that? And what do you think about Myruna processor against Willow and Contour and all?
Excellent. I think whatever we talk about error corrections and everything, but still the stability is not being assured. That is the whole problem of quantum today. See, with all that new processor, even IBM's latest one, I went off to check because I'm incidentally an IBM fellow. So I went to IBM labs recently. They invited me to have a study on the 100-bit quantum. I found still it is not stabilized. So the stability we are trying to achieve, it's not as stable as your digital computer. It's because you have two interfaces. One is your quantum mechanics and your quantum chip. Then it is interfaced with the digital. It's a mix of the two. It doesn't work a quantum alone. It needs a digital interface also. So having given this, a small decoherence also will stop the entire thing. But now neutrality is achieved, as you rightly said, with Google intervention and Microsoft intervention. Neutrality is achieved. So the error is not passed through. It has been filtered and kept. But again, the system will have to wait, halt, and then it has to reprocess. So we have the gaps. I guess it's a matter of years. A few years, I think we get settled down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent question.
எனக்கு கிடைச்ச பெரிய ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி தான் பார்க்குறேன். இப்போ ஆறுமுகம் சாரை பற்றி எங்களுக்கு அங்கேயே தெரியும். ஆனால் அவர் வந்து இங்கே வந்ததுக்கு பிறகு இன்றைக்கி காலையில் பிரமாதமான ஒரு ஸ்பீச், நேற்று இரவும் அவங்க கூட பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தோம். ஒரு மாதிரி பரந்த மனப்பான்மை இருக்கு இல்லையா, தனக்கு கிடைத்ததும் தனக்கு கிடைக்காததும் அடுத்த தலைமுறைக்கு கடத்தணுங்கிற ஒரு எண்ணங்கிற இல்லையா, அதுதான் வந்து ஒரு பெஸ்ட்டு பிஸ்னஸ்மேன், பெஸ்ட்டு இந்த சமூகத்தின் மீது காதல் கொண்டவர்களுக்கான இருக்கிற அந்த தாகம். அதே மாதிரி நேற்று நான் சொல்லணும்னு நினச்சேன், கணேஷ் சாருடைய ஸ்பீச் நேற்று ரொம்ப பிரமாதமாக இருந்துச்சு. இன்றைக்கி ஆறுமுகம் சார் பல பேர் பேசுனதை நான் கேட்க முடியலை, சின்ன ஒர்க்குனால் கொஞ்சம் வெளில போயிட்டேன். ஆனால் எனக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஒரு வெரி குட் ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. நான் வந்து கவிதையோடு இருந்தாலும் நானும் கணிப்பொறியோடு கைகோத்துக்கிட்டு உங்கள் கூட இருக்கணும்னு தொடர்ந்து ஒரு ஆர்வம் இந்த மேடை எனக்கு ஏற்படுத்துது. ரொம்ப நான் சின்னதாக ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ்லாம் தொடங்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். அதை இன்றைக்கி ஆன்லைனில் மட்டும் தான் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். இவ்வளோ பேர் எனக்கு வந்து கை கொடுக்கறதுக்கும் பெரிய பாலம் அமைக்கிறதுக்கும் இருக்கிறத பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு புது நம்பிக்கை வந்து எனக்கு வந்து இந்த மேடை எனக்கு கொடுத்துருக்குது. அனிமா வரும்போது கவிஞராக போனேன், போகும்போது பிஸ்னஸ் மேனாக போவேன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். வாழ்த்துக்கள்.
So sir wants to know if anyone has any questions from the audience.
Last year, success, apart from Mr. Ganapathy sir and Sendil Karnanadi, Mr. Murukiah played a key role in bringing the event a glamorous, beautiful experience to everybody with content rich, actually. He's in Chicago last year, and he's a fashion model, and all his dresses, star of attraction. So, just want to have 1 minute.
In his busy schedule,
Let me stand next to my brother Arumugam sir. Actually, I've learned a lot because I have no idea about all this AI and so on. Because since I was 21, I have my own company, so I have no idea about technology. Today, little bit of class. Yesterday from Ganesh and today from Dr. Arumugam, I was able to learn a little bit. That's all is very important about all this conference. You have to learn something out of it. He can ask questions, but he knows I'm a last bencher, so it is not good for him to ask questions to me. But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to Elevate every year and inspiring all of us. Keep doing and keep inspiring all of us. Thank you.
You're going to say we're running out, we are behind schedule, and we're going to rush things over. And the next speaker is this, and 15 minutes is up. 20 minutes we've given them, so it's just keep moving.
Question recall.
good morning, sir. So thank you so much for a fantastic, informative sessions, and we really enjoyed. It is so. I'm so glad. Sir, I have a question. Actually, like, is anything the quantum computing? Is it anything related to the consciousness of the human being or any organisms? Because I see, like the articles that is related to, like quantum processing as well as consciousness and different dimensions. Is it anything related to that?
As of I understand, there is nothing to do with the consciousness with this.
Okay.
Maybe people would have been passionate and conscious about this quantum computing, but per se, quantum computing is just atomic
Quantum
phenomena.
quantum analysis.
No, it is all atomic phenomena.
Yeah.
This is, I understand that the logics are quite interesting. Why? Because quantum entanglement for per se, that splits at different distance we don't know, but still it interacts and communicate each other. So that is something which you can think it in a more philosophical way.
Okay.
See, basically quantum science, quantum per se, is a more philosophical. So that way you may relate. But as such, computing per se, consciousness, no, actually.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. That was a brilliant question.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for highlighting us all the historical perspectives. I'm a biologist, and you mentioned that the photosynthesis has got the unique way of converting carbon dioxide in water into carbohydrate. And scientists are now working on artificially sort of creating a system which can synthesize the carbohydrate. But they haven't been able to crack that whole process.
Okay.
So I was wondering, what's your perspective? Are we really able to crack that process and have the artificial synthesis instead of relying upon the plants?
Well, excellent question. Actually, when you talk about these peptides and amyloids, we can create a structure. See, basically, this when you break any pathogens or any biological molecule, product, you can finally build into certain grid to understand how actually this structure has been made. We are trying to correct the structure to bring in certain outcomes. So this structure analytics is not easy by digital computing because it carries a huge amount of data. If you run a data on a pathogen, every cell you may have to run several gigabytes of data, which is not possible in a digital computing environment. So we are trying to alter the peptides and trying to build a pathogen which will have certain characteristics. So we have to study the whole structural process of from the ideation to build a pathogen artificially can be possible only on a quantum computing, which they have almost devised. In fact, if they did the trial test, but the pathogens are not dying. That is a problem. So we wanted to create a pathogen which has got a limited life and it should be biodegradable. That's what they are working on as far as ocean is concerned.
But my question was, can you
be a little louder?
Yes. Can we artificially create the photosynthesis in a lab? So now we have the technology to create meat in the lab using the vegetable items. Likewise, can we artificially make the crops to produce the grains and the fruits without relying upon the sunlight?
Yes, you can do that. See, what happens when you can do the process of photosynthesis without light. Without light, yes, you can do that. Provided the basic characteristics of that particular, the process need to be tweaked. That is what we re-engineer in the gate circuit of the quantum mechanics. We can do that. It is possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arumugam Ayya. That was a brilliant speech. Thank you.
Check.